Hello, Tiger fans. Thanks for joining us for our final regular season edition of Tiger Timeout here on the Campbellsville University Sports Network. Thanks for joining us. Matt Payton with you as we look around Tiger and Lady Tiger basketball. They close out the regular seasons with wins over Lindsey Wilson College last Thursday. The head coach of the Lady Tigers, Ginger High Colvin, joins me. And, Coach, I've got to start with congratulations. You put the hay in the barn, as they say, Thursday night. You sat and did a little scoreboard watching. I know you were busy doing other things Saturday, but you had a host of people keeping you tuned in to the score in McKenzie, Tennessee. Bethel with an upset win, a small upset win over Cumberland, and that gives you a share of the regular season. Congratulations, three straight for your Lady Tigers.
We will take it. You know, that's after what we lost last year. You and I have talked a lot off camera, and for what this team has achieved, I'm so proud of them, and just the opportunity to share, to have co-champion with that, and the league, as tough as the league is, and in my opinion, it's never been tougher from top to bottom. And our kids have just hung on all year long. We're really, really proud of them.
You get the win over Lindsey Wilson, as we kind of put a bow on that quickly. A terrific performance from Lauren Lee. It's a Blue Raider team, an upstart team trying to make the national tournament themselves. They were looking for a signature win, and a young team from Coach John Wethington hang with you about 30 minutes or so of that game. Able to pull away late, but to close out your season on senior night in an impressive performance.
I think if Coach Wethington talked to you about this team, it's probably one of his favorite teams, and I can see why they play so hard and with no fear. You know, that youth comes in there and they play with no fear. They're a gritty bunch of kids, a good group to compete against, and I think in the next few years we're going to have our hands full with them. We already had our hands full with them, but I think they're just going to continue to get better, and he's done a great job with them. But getting that win and being able just to sit and take that Saturday off was as good mentally for us as it was physically, just because it has been such a tough grind for us, and our kids have just hung in there, so it was nice to have that time off. And
you've got the emotions before the game. You're recognized for 500 wins. They know it's senior night as well, so there's a lot of maybe kind of landmines there. There's a lot of good vibes in the building, but you've still got to take care of business with your bunch, and I know it's a somewhat young group. How do you have to help manage that and guide them through that, so to speak?
We don't make a big deal out of it, really, and as you know, we put our senior night at halftime of the men's game. I don't want them thinking about that, getting super emotional, so we just kind of put that off. And we have put into bid. I think we've put ourselves in a position to be able to host. So I just try to tell the girls, this isn't going to be the last time you play in the gym, so just go out there, enjoy yourself, and get the win. That's just all we're trying to do at that point, is get the win. We had a great crowd for the girls' game and the guys' game, and I love seeing the community and the kids come out and support us the way they are.
And then we look ahead Saturday, and fortunately for you, Saturday when we talked, you were at the ER, I think,
I was,
with Kobe, who had basketball injury the night before. I think everything's good. Coach can confirm, but everything's good with Kobe. But there was a scare there, but you're worried about take the coaching hat off, your mom. And so Mom's at the ER. Hootie and I and Whitney Hay, there were several of us kind of texting you to keep you in the loop. That's a bit different to be off that Saturday. It's one thing to scoreboard watch while playing. It's a completely another thing to know you've done all you can do, and you're looking for a little help, and lo and behold, it was your old buddy down in McKenzie that helped you out, Chris
and
Nelson.
Believe me, he's told me more than once that I owe him big, but he did. They played it well, and we've said all along, I feel like Bethel's so talented, and they're young as well, but they put together just a great game, and got that, and then helped us to seal that. So shout out to Derek Port, our trainer. I think our athletic trainers are probably some of the hardest working, if not the hardest working people on campus. And so I text Derek. Kobe sprained his ankle on Friday night. Text Derek. So I go out to his farm on Saturday, and so we get to see the pigs, the ducks, the goats. And I call Derek Dr. Doolittle, and it is so true. He and his wife Samantha are a Dr. Doolittle farm, but he was kind enough to give Kobe a look and then send us on to the ER. But fortunately, everything turned out okay.
6- and 7-year-old Kobe Colvin would have been in hog heaven, so to speak, out there.
He still was. He still was. I texted Derek and Samantha later on that night and said, just for your information, if you wanted to adopt Kobe right now, I feel like I would have a fight on my hands. So, and I told Derek after I went out there, I'm a farm girl. I love going back and going on the farm. I said, I wonder a lot how you don't lose your mind, and now I know. I see what you have out here, because to me, the perfect relaxation.
Yeah, a little bit of peace and
Yeah.
quiet perhaps, and some hard work that goes into that. We'll step away here. We'll come back and we'll talk with the head coach about the upcoming Mid-South Conference tournament. The Lady Tigers will be the 2 seed in the conference tournament this coming weekend in Bowling Green. We'll step away here, come back and look ahead at the Mid-South Conference tournament in Bowling Green at Bowling Green High School here on Tiger Timeout.
Eyes forward. Don't drive distracted.
Every day, thousands of kids start vaping. And I can't let this happen to my kid. So if you want to talk to your kids, you have to get it trending.
No, you're doing it wrong.
Let's go.
Can we talk?
Yeah, what's up?
Visit talkaboutVaping.org for tips on when and how to have the vape talk.
Welcome back as we continue here on Tiger Timeout. Matt Payton with you as we take a look at the weekend upcoming for the Lady Tigers. The Mid-South Conference tournament for them begins on Saturday evening, 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Campbellsville hosts Cumberland University. And, Coach, you're so close to getting out of Mid-South Conference play. Hopefully 3 games remaining in league play before you get to a national tournament setting. It has got to be one of the most challenging conference tournaments to win. I know the teams are small in number, but certainly not in ability. And right out of the gate, you get a Cumberland team that they'd love to put a feather in their hat as well and knock off a
sure.
Campbellsville
You know,
team.
and I think Mark Vaughn's going to do a great job down there. And you know, you can preach to your kids now. It's a new season. Throw away everything that's happened up until this point and go out and have an opportunity. And you know, Kayla Gordon's had a feast against us the most times that we've played. They've got some kids that can really score it. We were without Lauren Lee the last time we were down there, and so they got a little taste of blood in the water. So we're going to have to go down and make sure we shore everything up and get that win.
We'll take a look at the numbers from the upcoming matchup with Campbellsville and Cumberland University as they meet for the 3rd time this season. The Lady Tigers winning the 2 previous matchups, of course, at home and then in Lebanon, Tennessee. And it's a 2-7 matchup, Coach. There's no 8 seed in this tournament, so Cumberland's gets the bye, and there's, I guess, 2 schools of thought. You've got one where the bye is nice, but it's also a little extra rest for you. You get 1 game, hopefully a day off, then 2 more, but rust is a real thing. So you can't stub your toe. You don't want to get beat, but being able to play a game and hopefully pulling out a win could also help.
And I think if you ask my girls, they're happy that we're playing that game. I'm happy that we're playing that game. You know, sitting out until that next Monday, I think would be a lot. And then it's not preparing you for the national tournament. I did want us to have a mental break, a physical break, and we had that because we had that Saturday off. So turning around and playing that next Saturday, honestly, is ideal for us. And I feel like we're fresh now. I feel like we'll be fresh physically and hopefully fresh mentally and go in. But, man, that conference tournament's brutal.
And then not to look ahead, but just to kind of preview some of the matchups, you know that a win, whoever wins your game with Cumberland University would then take on either Freed-Hardeman or Lindsey Wilson. They'll be the 3-6 matchup. And Freed-Hardeman, I know they lost one this weekend to Cumberland's, but they've been playing some of the best basketball that we've seen. And, of course, you've seen John Wethington's team recently as well.
Yeah, I think Freed's playing as well as anybody in the league right now. And John Wethington's typically a giant slayer when they get to the tournament. And they usually come in and tend to get some of those teams. And I feel like his kids are going to be amped up. They know they're right on that bubble of getting in the national tournament. and a win, a signature win like that would be just another opportunity, another step closer for them. So I think they're going to be really hungry when they go in, and it's just, you know, we've got I looked today, top 5 of our teams are really high in the RPI, and it's just going to be a dogfight.
Yeah, and Cumberland gets to bye. That's the good news. The bad news is they will immediately get either Bethel or Georgetown in the semifinal round, and you got 2 of the premier coaches in the country, and Chris Nelson and Jeff Nickel will lock horns there on Saturday evening. Actually, it'll be Saturday afternoon for them in Bowling Green, and I'm looking forward to that one. I think I'm going to try to get down early and pull up a chair for that one.
I don't know who's not. I'm not sure who's not going to go down if they're going to watch our game or not going to go down early and watch that game. Jeff Nickel's a tournament coach. There's no doubt about it. His teams are always prepared, always ready to roll when it comes tournament time. We talked. Chris Nelson's got probably. I think Bethel and Freed are probably the 2 most talented teams, top to bottom, in our league. That's not taken away from any of the other teams. That's including Campbellsville in that group. It's just they are loaded with talent, and so I think it'll be a great game to go watch. And you know, I don't know how Vegas would do it. I'm not much on gambling, but I think it would be a really hard time to figure out who's going to win this one.
Neutral site, that might be a pick'em game between Bethel and Georgetown there Saturday afternoon. And tournament time, speaking of tournament time, I know your attention tonight will be down the road a bit. We talked about Kobe, had a bit of a scare. You said he should be good to go tonight. District matchup, I know doing the things for the Lady Tigers is one thing. This is a whole different animal, watching number 15 of your own out there on the floor, and hopefully they can pull out a win.
Man, oh man, it's been an emotional time for me. He had a senior night last week, and he sprained his ankle actually in the second quarter of his senior night. They were able to win. He missed the Saturday game because of his ankle, but again, Derek Port has jumped in, helped us out. We've really worked on it. I guess I don't know if most moms, I guess, can't tape an ankle, but I've been elected to do that for him. I have to be there early tonight to get it taped before the game. I have to get it taped before shoot around. So it is one skill I've acquired over the years, and but I do feel like he's good to go. He's a pretty tough kid. I gave him a hard time to go, and the girls have always given him a hard time to go, way to go. But Kobe's a tough kid. He's you know, selfishly, I feel like he's a lot of the glue to their team. I feel like he does a lot of things well. He's not a terrific scorer. He's not a standout in any category, but he's a smart, unselfish player. And it sure has been fun for me to watch him.
It sounds a lot like some of the Lady Tiger teams that we've seen over the years. A lot of smart,
you think some of that's rubbed off,
that
maybe?
Rubbed off on him. But good luck to Kobe, and a win guarantees him at least 2 more games, no matter what happens. So
that's right.
Good luck to Kobe and the Tigers.
And Coach Vernon's son.
Yeah, we're going to talk to Coach about that as well. Bryce will be. Will Bryce start tonight? Has he been in the starting lineup?
Yes, Bryce.
So Bryce and Kobe likely will be.
Coach Vernon and I. This has been a fun ride for us because Bryce and Kobe were on the golf team. Regional champion golf team together, and now they play together on their high school team, and they call themselves the Flamingos because they're skinny, a lot of legs and a lot of skinny. So we've had fun with that.
Coach, best of luck this weekend, and good luck to the Cardinals as well.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
The Lady Tigers in action 6 p.m. on Saturday evening down in Bowling Green. A win would put them in action Monday afternoon there in Bowling Green at Bowling Green High School. Be sure to tune in on 88.7 The Tigers. Benji Kelly and I call all the action from the conference tournament. We'll step away, come back, and visit with the head coach of the Tigers, Brent Vernon, here on Tiger Timeout.
Food isn't just fuel to live, it's fuel to grow. My family relied on public assistance to help provide meals for us. These meals fueled my involvement in theater and the arts as a child, which fostered my love for acting. The Feeding America network of food banks helps millions of people put food on the table. When people are fed, futures are nourished. Join the movement to end hunger, and together we can open endless possibilities for people to thrive. Visit feedingamerica.org/actnow.
Tiger Timeout continues here on the Campbellsville University Sports Network as we move from Lady Tiger basketball over to the Tigers. They also were victorious this past Thursday with a win over Lindsey Wilson College. Campbellsville claims the victory over their rival from up the road. The head coach joins me, Brent Vernon. And Coach, it's been a rough year for you guys in spots with the injuries, the illnesses, you name it. It's probably impacted you in a negative way. Thursday night, wrap up senior night at home. It's there are important games on the schedule, but I know in a year where it's been a bit of a struggle to get that one on that night against a rival, that's about as big as they come.
Yeah, it was a great night. I mean, women with a huge win, then we follow it up, and like I said, it's been rough for us. Injuries, illnesses, just not the outcome we want. But as we told our guys, Lindsey, Campbellsville, it means a lot. Rivalry game, you can't take anything for granted. I thought both teams came out, and you could tell both teams really wanted to win. And our guys did a really good job. And for us, about as healthy as we've been in a long time, maybe as healthy as we're going to get, but it's at the right time as we get ready for the postseason. And I thought our guys did a really good job, and we really put our foot forward heading into postseason play. As
we take a look at the numbers from the win over Lindsey Wilson College, again, Campbellsville gets the victory 84-64. Cam Vick had a terrific night, 22 points, 5 boards, 4 helpers. Jay Milburn with 15 and 7. Rob Briggs had 13, and one of maybe Ra's best game as a Tiger in terms of production statistically and what he did on the court defensively and other things. I thought Ra was really good. And it was the Lindsey Wilson team, Coach. You and I kind of talked a little bit that they had some issues going on, some guys injured, and it actually got worse for them that day. Weather had played a part, didn't know if that might get pushed back. They ended up with some guys sick as well as injured, and it was somewhat reminiscent of some things that happened to you along the way.
Absolutely.
And look, you weren't going to feel bad for anybody after the season you've had.
No, as we talk to our guys, whenever things start happening, it's sort of a domino effect. Unfortunately, nobody does feel sorry for you. I mean, that's just part of the beast, and we couldn't do that as well. At the same time, obviously, as coaches, we have some sympathy, and I think you can see just how difficult some things are when you look at that game. Played Lindsey early at their place, and it was a 2-3 point game, and we got them by 20, but it was a close game with 12, 15 minutes to go. They were tired. They were worn out. They were mentally defeated. They had 3 or 4 rotation guys out. We've been there. We understand that, and it's a really hard battle to overcome. And again, I thought they were really good for 30 to 32 minutes, and not that they were bad the last 8 to 10. Thought we were really good. We had more bodies, more healthy, and I think you can see the benefit it plays whenever you have a squad like that.
As a head coach, and this is kind of getting off the beaten path a bit, but as a head coach, there are a lot of difficult situations that you find yourself in. How many are more difficult than when you look back and you're out of pieces, whether it's injuries, illnesses, but you start with 10, 11, 12 to begin a year, a certain game you look down and there's really nowhere else to go. That's got to be a helpless feeling.
It is. It's deflating. At times, as coaches, we hold our guys to high standards, and they hold themselves to high standards. You get in the heat of battle, and if somebody starts messing up, okay, you got to pull them out and rest them and try to get them to calm down. And sometimes you go to make that sub and you turn around and there's just nobody there to put in. So it's either burn a timeout and try to do it or let them play through it. But it's very difficult to manage. It's deflating because the last thing any of those guys want is to let their teammates down. So it is. And you could see that some with Lindsey. And it's a bad spot to be in. It's a tough spot to be in. I give them credit. I thought they battled the entire time, just like our guys have through the same type of circumstances. Fortunately for us, I guess you could say the shoe is on the other foot for a team for once.
Yeah, and you recognized, I believe, Jay Milburn before the game
Yeah.
with the blocks, and the Lady Tigers kind of had some stuff going on too with the 500 and Senior Day as well. These are emotional games. You throw in the rivalry aspect. Sometimes the rivalry game's enough standalone. You don't need the emotion of a senior night, and you honor Jay for the shot block record. How much more difficult was it to navigate that, going through the process of here's the ball and we're going to roll it out and play our rival as well?
I think it's tough all the way around. We honored 5 seniors on senior nights, and senior nights is one of the worst nights for me. Again, you build such a bond with these guys, and they come to work every day and you see them every day, and soon that time's over. And then you honor Jay for his accomplishments. So, you got a lot of different emotions going through you. And I think in the first 10 or 12 minutes on our side, you could see that. I thought Lindsey was a little more comfortable the first 10 or 12 minutes than we were. We had some good moments, but they made some runs and had a lead early. And I think just trying to get over we got to push those things aside and play a basketball game. I think you saw that turn over the last 10 minutes of the first half and the second half. But it's always something you're fighting to do. But I'm just happy we got to put those seniors out with a win, honor Jay before the game for a great accomplishment, and hopefully many more to come.
The Tigers enter postseason play this weekend. They've got the nightcap on Sunday evening at Bowling Green High School. They will take on Freed-Hardeman. We'll step away, come back, and visit with the head coach about the upcoming Mid-South Conference tournament. Stay with us here on Tiger Timeout.
I debate all day. It's what I do. But there are some things that are undebatable, like your mental health. I was in a dark place when my brother passed away in a car accident. I was depressed in ways I never imagined. I reached out, and my sisters came, my pastor, my therapist. They helped me get through it. I found that the more I spoke up, the healthier my mind became. When you love your mind, you can go so much further. Find mental health resources at loveyourmindtoday.org.
Owen, when you came into my life, it was a whirlwind.
I just can't do it.
We didn't know what the future would hold, but we knew you would always be a part of it. Adopting you was the best decision in our life. And I am so proud to call you my son.
Welcome back to Tiger Timeout as we wrap up our regular season episodes of Tiger Timeout. The Lady Tigers and Tigers will conclude things in the conference tournament this weekend after wrapping up the regular season this past weekend. So it may be a bit before we revisit, but hopefully, Coach, when you and I get back together, we're talking about a Mid-South Conference tournament victory. It'll take 3 wins in 3 days. And the best part about our conversation today is you've said we're as healthy as we're going to be, and that's the main thing. You will get this roster that you've put together for the most part. I think outside of maybe KB being a little gimpy still with that ankle, everybody else in pretty good shape for this run.
Yeah, we'll have Thursday and Friday where we'll do some live stuff. So we won't do tons, so you hope nobody goes down. All so far this week and all the rest of this week, KB will do no live. He's getting up shots. He's working on conditioning. He's understanding what the game plan is, if we're putting in new sets, whatever. But me and him talked, I think it was Monday early, and I said, listen, this is my plan. I don't want to practice yet. It has nothing to do. I know you love to compete, but we got to win 3 games in 3 days. That's our goal. That's what we're going to do. The only chance we have is to have you available, whether it's for 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever it is. But if he were to go down, it has to be in a game and not practice. So I do believe we'll be as healthy as we can be, barring any setbacks these next 2 days. We've had a really, really nice week of practice. And the thing, when you have 8 or 9 days, you prepare a little differently. You know, it's not like you're 3 days before a game or 36 hours. I mean, we are diving into every archive we can right now to try to find a way to help us on Sunday against Freed, because it's going to be a tough test. But I think our guys are ready for it.
8:30 Sunday night against Freed-Hardeman. The win over Lindsey Wilson pushed Campbellsville up to the 6th seed, and Freed-Hardeman, you kind of do some scoreboard watching from there, Coach. Thursday night after your game, also going into Saturday, trying to see exactly how things would shake out. You land on Freed-Hardeman, and that's a team that you've played with a couple of times this season. You've had chances. They've hit big shots, and it's an exciting opportunity for you at 8:30 Sunday night.
It is, and it is a tough matchup. They're long. They're very good defensively. They're physical. But I do believe there's some things that we can hopefully work on to try to exploit and make us get the looks that we need, and then be able to sit down and make some shots. And, for the last week and a half, everybody's asked, who are you going to play? Who do you want to play? Listen, in the Mid-South Conference in the tournament, it doesn't matter, especially when you're talking about the top 3 seeds. I mean, Freed-Hardeman was ranked 3rd in the nation, and they are the 3rd seed in our conference. And that goes to Cumberland's winning the league. They had a few non-conference, so they're not ranked as high, but that's just how good our league is. So when it gets to this, I mean, everybody knows everybody. There's no easy games. We know for us to do it, we're going to have 3 very tough games. But I do believe our mindset is where it needs to be moving forward, and we're excited for the opportunity.
That 2-7 matchup, Georgetown, Lindsey Wilson, I know you'll have interest in that. You'll be getting ready for your own game, but that's going to be a fun one as well. And you get a healthy Lindsey Wilson team. I think they actually beat Georgetown early in the season, or was that Georgetown won at the buzzer over, or close to that, over in Columbia. So they've played a neck-and-neck battle already once this season.
They have, and even on Sunday, 2 of the guys who missed our game Saturday, got back for the game against Cumberland U, and they won at Cumberland U, which is a very good win. Georgetown and Lindsey always have good games. It seems like a lot of times throughout the regular season and past years, there's a game that comes down at the last week or 2 that determines seeding. And Georgetown's always in that game with Lindsey, and you probably normally need Georgetown to win, and Lindsey comes up. So, who knows? Coach Starks does a great job of getting his guys prepared. So it'll be good for our guys to watch at least the second half of that game as we prepare for our game and get their minds ready for tournament play. And then Cumberland's, as you mentioned, wins the league. They will await the winner of Bethel and Cumberland University as they will do battle. And, it's a Bethel team that's they've kind of hit or miss this season throughout. We've seen Cumberland play really good basketball, not a deep bench for Coach Evans, but I think that's an interesting game for sure. It is. I think they split throughout the year. And again, it goes to this part of the season. Not everybody can be healthy. They lose against Lindsey. No Kai Wallace, no Tristan Conger. So as you get to conference tournament, you don't know if they're back or available. Again, Coach Evans has had to deal with some of that this year like we all have, and has done a good job. So I think every game of the tournament is going to be really good. It's always a fun time of year, and hopefully we'll be ready to go. A lot of similarities with you and Ginger High Colvin this week, Coach. You'll prepare for the conference tournament. Your eyes and attention will spend most of its time in Lindsey Wilson territory at Adair County High School tonight. Bryce and the Cardinals, Kobe as well, Ginger's son, will take on Marion County. Winner advances in the district tournament. They'll take to the region next week. Jaylee Vernon and her Lady Cardinals in action tomorrow for a district championship. And I know she's been banged up. That's one similarity you don't want with Coach. Kobe's been banged up. Jaylee shares that burden. But it's got to be it's a crazy time for you and your family. It is. It's fun, though. I mean, you watch a lot of high school games throughout the year, but was at a high school game last night watching Monday night. Got some decent news on Jaylee. I know we got good news on Kobe. Not sure if she'll play tomorrow, but got my fingers crossed that maybe with that news we can get her prepared for the regional tournament next week. And I think both teams have a chance to make some deep runs. So let's hope both Tiger teams and Cardinals do what they're supposed to do and make it a fun postseason. You're a basketball junkie. You wouldn't have it any other way. Love it. Coach, best of luck this weekend. Thanks, Matt. The Tigers in action Sunday evening, 8:30 the start time for Brent Vernon's club. Ginger High Colvin's team in action there on Saturday, early evening, 6 o'clock start for the Lady Tigers in Bowling Green, Kentucky. Keep up with Benji Kelly and I courtside there at Bowling Green High School on 88.7 The Tiger. For the head coach Brent Vernon as well as Ginger High Colvin, Matt Payton. We'll see you next time on Tiger Timeout.